I really don't understand why people continue to gas up Italy and Europe as a whole as this ultimate vacation destination. Like, I'm really gonna need y'all to decolonize y'all minds when y'all booking a vacation, bro, because the shit is fucking ridiculous. I went to Italy back in April for an all-paid trip for my job based on performance, and I stayed in a five-star hotel. All the excursions and everything was paid for. Breakfast and lunch was paid for, and you got some money towards dinner and all this type of shit. I'm telling y'all now, if somebody told me I was banned from Rome for the rest of my fucking life, I really would not give a fucking damn. If you told me that I could never go back to the country of Italy ever again, I really would not give a single fuck. And I really didn't experience too many problems with racism. I got a lot of stares and ugly looks, but, I really don't be giving a fuck about that shit. But I'm telling y'all, bro, like, me and my homeboy went to, like, this 4-star restaurant, bro. And I had ordered fish and some clams, and the only reason that was good because it was fresh and it came from Tuscany. They barely fucking seasoned it, and it was all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you really want the best Italian food, you might as well just go take your ass to fucking New York City or some other major city here in the U.S. and call it a fucking wrap, because the shit is not that good, bro. The only reason people be gassing up food over in Europe is because a lot of times the ingredients are more fresh than ours here in America, bro. It literally just be the fact that they have fresh ingredients. Their shit is not super processed. That's literally it, bro. Because my homeboy ordered this big ass steak. The shit was big as hell. The shit was like $100 steak. You could literally tell all they did was take that fucking steak, flip it on one side in the pan, flip it on the other, and threw that bitch right back on the plate. This big ass steak, this $100 steak, just bleeding all over the fucking plate like a first 48 scene. The shit was fucking ridiculous. So I'm like, bro, you gotta send that shit back. He like, yeah, bro, like this ain't even like medium rare. This shit damn near like rare as fuck. So he sent it back, have him cook it some more. Then they come back and he like, yo, y'all got steak sauce? Y'all got anything I could put on my steak? He's like, the waiter like, we got olive oil. Who the fuck gonna put olive oil on a steak that's already been cooked in olive oil, bro? What the fuck is... I'm telling y'all, bro, like, the only good meal I had was at that restaurant because I ordered fish. And the only reason I ordered fish was because when I walked in, I seen it said fresh from Tuscany. And it was fresh from Tuscany. Like, I seen them literally bringing the shit in as I was, like, walking into the restaurant. That's the only fucking reason I ordered that. And that was the best meal I had, and it was barely fucking seasoned, dog. I'm fucking telling you, bro. Like, people have got to stop gassing up Italy, bro. It's really not all that. I'm telling you. It stink. It smell like piss and shit. The people fucking are musty as hell. Everybody fucking smokes cigarettes, and the food is fucking garbage, bro. You might as well just take your ass to New York City for a better Italian experience. I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say, bro. And I'm telling you, if you talking about, oh, well, I love the scenery in Europe and this and that, Africa, the Middle East, Asia, South America, other parts of America have way better scenery, bro. So honestly, there is literally no reason, especially for people of color, when you know a majority of the time you're going to get treated like shit in these European countries, it's really no fucking point in spending your money and going, because there are more beautiful places around the world that got better food and services. So I really don't understand why everybody keep gassing this shit up. Like, I will literally never go to Italy again. I really don't give a fuck, bro. Like, you not missing nothing. I keep trying to tell people that every time. Oh, I want to go to Rome. I want to go to Italy. Google it and you good. I'm telling you, it's no different than the fucking pictures, bro. The food is not fucking worth it. It's not worth you spending all that bread. Unless it's paid for, I would say don't even fucking waste your time. There are very few countries in Europe, based on my experience and experience of people that are close to me, that I would say is worth it. And the only couple I can think of is like Amsterdam and Ireland. That's really fucking it, bro. It's really not nothing else that's really worth your time. You know, certain parts, maybe like certain parts of the Netherlands, Switzerland, Greenland, Iceland, those parts are kind of cool too. But besides that, most of Europe is fucking garbage, bro. I mean, you see how London is with their fucking food. Paris smells like piss and shit. The food is kind of okay, but besides that, it's really not worth all your money, bro. Go somewhere else.
If you are rich or you're moving from a first world country and you still have a way of making money remotely to be able to spend in Italy, then this video is not for you. Please scroll past. Okay, now that we have regular people, if you are thinking of moving to Italy for greener pastures, then this video is for you. Because in Italy, the reality is that you're going to have to waste at least 2 to 3 years learning language. And when you don't know how to speak the language, it's almost impossible to make progress in this country. So here, everything is in Italian. the degrees and certifications that you gathered from your country means nothing here. It takes like 2 to 3 years before you're able to even understand the process of what you're supposed to do to make your certificates acceptable here. I would honestly not advise you to go. Please go to an English speaking country. It's a struggle living in a different country. Now, why do you have to add the one of a place where you have to learn a new language? So please, if you're watching this video and you are not yet here, and you are thinking of coming here, please put this into consideration that you must have to learn Italian, and that takes nothing less than 2 years. If you're already here, then you should be learning Italian by now, and you should be working towards doing courses that should help you secure good jobs that will help your life.
Hi guys, my name is Esther Daniel and you're welcome back to the channel. Racism in Italy isn't new, but now people are being bold about it, like they are not even hiding it anymore. Black people are being turned away from jobs, ignored in stores, or even denied services just because of how they look. Some Italians are flat out saying they don't like black people in their stores, in their streets, or even in their neighborhood. This is not just ignorance or fear. It's deeper. It's racism built into the system, and it's seriously affecting people's lives. How can this be happening in 2025 in a country that calls itself developed? Before we move on with the video, please subscribe to the channel, like and share the video to help the channel out.
Visiting Rome, Italy right now, and I'm pretty sure this is the most racist place I've ever been. I've been to Europe before with zero issues, but this is a whole other level. I'm traveling with my 2 white friends, and we accidentally got on the wrong train, and we figured it out. We quickly grabbed our bags so we could transfer over to the other train. As I grabbed my bag, this lady with a baby stroller yelled at me in Italian, even though I wasn't really that close to her. And so I said, "Mi dispiace," because obviously maybe she was like coming this way. No, she was literally just standing there. And she looked at me like I was about to harm her child and yanked the baby away. And when I apologized to her, even though I really shouldn't have, the look of absolute disgust in her face spoke a million words. I was standing on a second train station platform when there were 2 workers coming by in this mobile cart. They were coming directly towards me, even though there was plenty of space. They honked at me and looked me straight in the eyes with the most annoying look, like they looked very irritated that I was standing there existing. So I move out the way and I see them continuously drive near a group of white people. And they don't honk or do anything. They go out of their way to go around the group of white people, even though there's a bunch of them and there was only one of me. I was at the Coliseum the same day taking photos with my friends, and this one guy started tutting at us and waving us aside like we were dogs, as he wanted to take a photo of the Coliseum and we were in his way. He then yelled, "Move," in perfect English. So I said, "Do you know how to say please in English too?" And he just ignored me. We're on the subway looking lost, and the security guards came up to my white friend and asked if they needed help and was super nice to her. They completely ignored me. For comparison, not only did she get help with that, but she dropped her phone on the train platform, almost underneath the train, and a worker literally went practically underneath the train to retrieve her phone. She was also given a random free week-long bus pass by a complete stranger for no reason. Seeing the stark difference between the way that my white friends who I'm traveling with are treated and the way that I'm treated is like, whoa. Like, I literally feel like this is worse than America. All this happened within a 4 or 5 hour period. In my entire time in Turkey, I haven't experienced any discrimination whatsoever. Not once. With all that being said, I am already ready to go home. I think I'm going to give it another chance because I've only been here for 1 day. But if I've experienced all of this crap and rude people in 1 day, I really don't have much hope for the rest of this trip. I'm supposed to be here for a week, but I'm honestly thinking about changing my flight. This place is a complete shithole.
That creator said he was shoved out of an elevator in Italy, but when they all found out he was American, they were like, "This is not Italia, this is not Italia." That is very much Italia. That is Italy with its whole chest. I am so anti-Italy that if I was given an all-expenses-paid trip to the Amalfi Coast, Rome, wherever, I'm not going. Like I said in that video, thank you for the Renaissance, thank you for Nutella, Gucci, Prada, the other brands I can't afford. Let me tell you one thing. Give me all that, toss the rest of the country in the ocean. I spent 3 months in Italy in 2013, and then I went back in 2018 for a short while. And let me tell you, even after growing up in the southern United States, I have never experienced the overt disrespect and racism that I experienced in Italy. I'm talking assault. I'm talking people avoiding me in the street. I'm talking people acting like I was there to rob them because I'm asking for directions. Stares of disgust, all-out rudeness, just microaggressions worse than I have experienced in America. I wrote all about this in 2018, so you can go ahead and check out my story on the New York Times. And to this day, people still message me to say that they've experienced the same things and they're happy to find out that they weren't alone. I actually met a couple nice people there, and one of my closest friends I met while I was studying abroad. The rest of that country, though, no. And if you don't believe me, just Google race relations in Italy. Did you see the video where that creator said he was shoved out of an elevator in Italy, but when they all found out he was American, they were like, "This is not Italia." That is very much Italia. That is Italy with its whole chest. I am so anti.
As a person that is from Chicago, a black person from Chicago who went to college in South Dakota and white ass Iowa, I've noticed two things that white people do to avoid accountability in some of these situations. And this last video is an example of one of them. They either hyper individualize a negative racial experience or they will socialize their losses. So this person had a terrible racial experience in Italy, and folks kept saying, this is not Italy, this is not us, this is not us, right? So in that case, you just individualize the experience so that you could avoid accountability. The second thing is the socializing of losses. I remember when I first noticed it, I went to one of my white friend's grandparents' house, and she kept calling me a well-mannered colored boy. And instead of reprimanding her and apologizing to me, my friends would be like, well, you know, that's how they used to talk back then, right? So they'll socialize their losses, right? Now becomes, that's a failing of society. That's a failing of time, the musings of time, right? That's a failing of everything else but this racist white lady in front of me. And then they'll privatize their wins, socialize their losses and privatize their wins. Those same friends that could easily socialize an L would then turn around whenever we talked about redistribution of wealth and taking care of people of color. It became about how hard their parents had worked. Well, my parents worked their ass off to get this house. Like, my grandfather worked really hard. Now their wins are their wins, but their losses are society's losses. It's a very interesting thing.
When they all found out he was American, they were like, this is not Italia, this is not Italia. That is very much Italia. That is.
First off, as a person of color going to a white country for vacation or education, you're not going to get either in the shits. I don't even know why the fuck you expected it. But I'm finna tell you about Italy and America. After the reign of Mussolini, after World War II, we were making these movies called spaghetti westerns. Spaghetti western is where you hire an Italian to play a Native American because they were that brown. They were called swarthy. Swarthy is not a racial term, but it just vanished. So American whites start killing Italians. It was so bad that we almost went to war with Italy. And that's where we get all of the damn Columbus was this and that, because all of that was to make up for how they treated the Italians, right? Then they started classifying Italians as white. And they immediately turned on the blacks. Why are y'all still fooled by this shit? Y'all got Wikipedia.
I spent the whole summer in Spain and Italy, and the people want to know, are they racist? A joke, but I'll never tell you a lie. You are not safe anywhere in the world. But to answer your question, let's start with Spain. So Spain, I lived in Spain for a month, 26 days to be exact, and I did not experience any racism. I also speak the language, so like, it's just, you really deal more so with like the cultural difference. And like Spaniards, or I don't know if this is a European thing or like a Spaniard thing, because they were honestly doing it in Italy, but they have no sense of personal space. So they will literally stand on top of you. And I feel like that was my biggest takeaway and the most annoying thing that I experienced while I was there. Like, everybody walks slow and everybody's always all on top of you. Now, the thing that you guys probably experience is the staring, and Spaniards have staring problems. Like, sorry to break it to you, they got staring problems. There's nothing that's ever going to change about it. They stare back. And I promise they're not just staring at you because you're black or just a different race. They staring at everybody. They're staring at everybody. Staring at their own kind. They got staring problems. Next is Italy, and is Italy racist? Now, this is, I hear the most about Italy, is Italy racist? And after going and visiting 4 cities in Italy, I went from the north to the south. I started in Venice and ended up at the Amalfi Coast. I really don't know what y'all talking about. Italians? They love us. They love us bad. Like, black girl, they love us. And I'm not sure what the obsession is I don't know if it's because they don't see us or people that look like us a lot, but they were so nice to us. Like, I had so much fun in Italy because of the people. Like, they were so sweet, so helpful, so like caring, and like, you know, there to help always. So I had a ball in Italy. I did not experience racism in Italy. I'm telling y'all, I went from Venice, then we went to Florence, then we went to Rome, and then we went to the Amalfi Coast. So no, I did not experience any racism. Everybody was honestly happy to see me. But I'm not by any means dismissing anybody else's experience, because like I said, y'all, You're not safe anywhere. You can go anywhere and they could be racist to you. I mean, look at the country we're living in now. You know what it's built on, but that's a story for another day. Big piece of advice: when you do go to these countries, make sure to check the culture, because a lot of you guys do confuse culture with racism, and it's not that. Anyway, guys, don't say I never gave you a thing. I hope to see you guys in the next one.
Did you see the video where that creator said he was shoved out of an elevator in Italy, but when they all found out he was American, they were like,
I'm glad we're talking about this because there's been a lot of misinformation, I feel, when it comes to race relations between black women and non-black men. And it's that there's this like romanticization of interracial dating, like black women just get treated better by white men, and which historically is just a falsity. I be getting violently disgusted with y'all when y'all try to white people treat us better than black men. White men treat us better than black men. Come, please. But I had to realize for some of y'all, racism isn't a deal breaker. For some of y'all, systemic violent racism is not a deal breaker. You'll look the other way. You'll still clap cheeks with somebody who's voting against your best interests. But that's neither here nor there. Do what you want to do, but please don't misinform the girlies and make them think that non-black men are safer. The women from those communities have proven to us that that is not true.
American, they were like, this is not Italia, this is not Italia. That is very much Italia. That is Italy with its whole chest.
I used to work as a captain in a catering hall. One of the head waiters lost his wife. Italian man. I love this man. The catering hall I used to work at, we were so close-knit. We was like one big happy family. He lived in Staten Island. We were in Brooklyn. When his wife died, we went to the wake, We were the only black people at the wake. I am so glad that I was not the only one that looked like me that went to that wake. Because even with a deceased woman in the room, the sundown town vibes were in full effect. It didn't matter if they were grieving. It didn't matter if we put a smile on our head waiter's face. The fact that we went all the way out to Staten Island to support him. So Italy is one place you probably won't catch me.
Did you see the video where that creator said he was shoved out of an elevator in Italy, but when they all found out he was American, they were like,
No, but did y'all see that video? Did y'all see the video of the black man who's talking about experience on that elevator with that white lady? Now, if you did see the video, tell me if I'm tripping, but y'all didn't, watching that video, y'all didn't feel like bro had some type of privilege being that he was an American citizen, he had that American accent? Because I feel like if this was another black person with a different accent, the interaction would have went completely different. Maybe that's just me, but that's what I got from the video. I really felt like we as black Americans, American citizens, when we go to these white countries, as soon as they treat us different. We all know they don't like black people. We know they don't like black people. But for some reason, when they find out you're an American, they whole attitude, I feel like their whole attitude switches up, you know, because I'm sure I'm pretty sure that if he had a different accent, they would have been very racist towards him. But for some reason, once they found out he was American, their whole attitudes changed. I don't know. The more I find out about how people operate around us, the more I feel like you guys, you're very. These people are very racist towards black people, but for some reason, when they find out you're an American, it's like, oh, no, we don't do that here. I don't know why, but we as black people, black American citizens, we have some privilege in these countries, and I'm gonna need us to start using it, you know, when we're in these countries, especially when it comes to defense of black people who are citizens of that country. Yeah, we hold some privilege, and we need to start using it.
I lived in Italy until the age of 13, then I moved to the UK. Let me tell you something. When people talk about racism in the UK, I'm just like, you guys haven't seen anything. When people are complaining about the UK, you guys haven't seen anything. Don't get me wrong, Italy is good vibes, food is good, weather is good. But when it comes to being there as an immigrant with immigrant parents, it is hard. You grow up surrounded by people that look down at you. Because of this, you start looking down at yourself. When I was living there at some point, I was even mad at my parents for moving into Italy, because I'm like, why did we even come to these people's country? They're right, we should have just stayed in our own country. There is just this level of ignorance when it comes to immigrants. If you're an immigrant, the biggest blessing that can happen to you is actually moving away from Italy. You become a lot more open-minded. You will start believing more in yourself. You start to want to have your own identity. I see sometimes these girls on TikTok fighting with white Italians, fighting for their lives, saying, oh my God, yes, I'm Italian because I grew up here. Why are you fighting to be a part of these people? I do not get it. Somebody comes to me and tell me, oh, you're not Italian. I'm like, yes, and? Okay, and? I don't want to be Italian. The amount of things that I've experienced while growing up there, from nursery to secondary schools, it's been a crazy one. It's been a wild ride, but what can I say? I had the best pizza of my life when I was there, so...
I want to answer to this question. The premise is, generally speaking, we're not. The problem is this. When Christopher Columbus arrived in 1942, also the Indians were pretty content and happy to see him. Sort of, because he didn't behave very well. The thing is, it wasn't as tragic. As the Native Americans started to notice that there was more and more and more and more people coming, started noticing that these people were starting to push more and more and more into their lands, that's when they become a little bit angry. This is what is happening to Italy, because you need to understand that Italy is part of the European Union. The European Union is saying to Italy that we should let all the asylum seekers in, which is a correct point of view. The problem is that we are the front line and we're literally getting anybody in. Some of them are distributed, many of them stay in Italy. It's becoming more and more and more. A country where people do not make 60 grand a year like you, but in a country where people make $1,500 a month, which is a third of what you guys make. We need to pay taxes to sustain all this. This is becoming worse and worse and worse every single year. Although I agree we should help asylum seekers, I believe that with time the Italian person is feeling more and more attacked, more and more defensive. And its defensiveness translates into the American mind to this. I'm trying to open a perspective here. I'm not talking about mine. I'm just speaking about the general feelings I believe that Italians have.
Take this from someone who has lived in Italy for 6 years plus. Italy is better when you are coming here for a visit of 1 week or 2 weeks, and no more than that, or 1 month maximum. The bureaucracy in this country, the low wages in this country, the language barrier in this country, the undertones, indirect discriminations that are not conspicuous in this country. Don't be lied to. Don't let people who tell you Dolce Vita, Dolce Vita, Dolce Vita. It's not all roses. It's not all roses living in Italy, by the way. And especially, don't take advice to move to Italy from someone who just visited this country for holiday, for vacation, and went to the seaside, and they went back to their country. No. Get advice from someone who has lived here for years. Because visiting Italy for vacation, for holiday, and living here in reality is two different things. Vitu kwa ground ni tofauti. Vitu kwa grao ni tofauti.
In Italy, but when they all found out he was American, they were like, this is not Italia, this is not Italia. That is very much Italian.
So this video is really interesting to me because of the fact that, like, when I went to Italy, I had a really, really great time. And let me be clear that I'm not trying to dismiss this creator's experience or say that she's lying or whatever. But it speaks to a larger thing that happens on social media, where because a person had a different experience from somebody else, they try to downplay that person's experience. And this goes with people, places, restaurants, different things. Like if somebody's like, oh, like this person was, you know, somebody speaking out about an abuser, and people who come forward were like, well, he was super nice to me. Like this idea that like our world is the only world that we live in, right? Like our world is the main source, and it's not. We are not the main characters of the world, as much as we like to think we are. We're the main characters of our world, but we're not the main characters of the world. That's Beyonce. But I'm sorry, I know this is like a really random rant, but I see this so much on social media, and I thought about it because, like, again, personally, my experience in Italy was amazing. I had a really, really good time. And I got lucky, obviously, because I've seen so many other Black creators say the complete opposite.